Top HFY tale, the humans charged 2,595 r/HFY7. The year was 2,595, and humanity had solidified its reputation across the galaxy, not as the strongest or the smartest species, but as the most relentless. The tales of human tenacity spread far and wide, whispered in awe by alien merchants, sung in ballads by starship captains, and dreaded in war councils of rival empires. The story of the humans charged begins in the outer rim of the Orion Arm, at the Battle of Velen's Reach. Velen's Reach was a fortified system, a jewel in the crown of the Saruk Dominion, a reptilian species that prided themselves on their centuries of unbroken conquests. Humanity, still new to interstellar warfare, was little more than a nuisance to the Saruk, a minor power that had somehow managed to keep surviving despite overwhelming odds. That was, until the Battle of Velen's Reach. ####The call to arms. The Saruk fleet outnumbered the human ships 5-1. Each Saruk dreadnought boasted energy weapons capable of carving through the thickest armor, while their destroyers moved with a predatory grace honed through eons of warfare. The human fleet, patched together from outdated Earth ships and salvaged alien tech, was laughably inferior on paper. Admiral Jian Wosu, commanding the Terran Defense Forces, knew this. She stood on the bridge of the HSS Audacity, staring at the tactical display. Red markers for Saruk ships painted the hologram like a swarm of locusts. Behind her, the crew worked in tense silence. "We can't win this," her XO muttered, breaking the stillness. Jia turned, her gaze hard. "We're not here to win," she said. "We're here to teach them what it means to face humanity." ###The charge. When the battle began, the Saruk opened fire with their usual precision. Blasts of plasma and beams of energy streaked through the void, shredding the first wave of human ships. Saruk commanders chuckled in their guttural tongue, confident in their inevitable victory. Then, the humans charged. Every surviving Terran vessel accelerated at suicidal speeds toward the Saruk lines. Engines burned white-hot, and shields were pushed far past their limits. The Saruk captains hesitated. Surely the humans wouldn't ram their ships? Such tactics were unheard of in civilized warfare. But humanity wasn't interested in civilization that day. The HSS Audacity led the charge, its reinforced prow aimed directly at the largest Saruk dreadnought. Admiral Nwosu's voice rang out over the comms. "Remember this moment. This is the day we earn our place among the stars." The Audacity collided with the Saruk dreadnought in a cataclysmic explosion, the shockwave obliterating nearby fighters and frigates. Across the battlefield, other human ships followed suit, ramming Saruk vessels with reckless abandon. The chaos was total. ###Aftermath. When the battle ended, both fleets were devastated. Of the Saruk armada, only a handful of ships limped back to Dominion space. The Terran defense forces were all but annihilated, but their sacrifice had shattered the myth of Saruk invincibility. Humanity's message was clear: we will not be broken. The Battle of Velen's Reach became legend, retold in countless variations on r/HFY7, the galactic hub for tales of humanity's grit and determination. The top upvoted post of the year summarized it best. *, the humans didn't fight to win. They fought to make you fear the day they decide to fight you again. *, and fear they did. ### The ripple effect. The destruction at Velen's Reach sent shockwaves through the galaxy. The Saruk Dominion, once unchallenged, found themselves scrambling to rebuild their fleets. However, the loss of resources wasn't their greatest concern, it was the psychological impact. Rumors of the Terran charge spread like wildfire. Alien powers once indifferent to humanity began re-evaluating their assumptions. If humans were willing to sacrifice everything, to weaponize their very mortality, what would they do if they actually had a chance to win? The Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Delegates from every major species debated the human problem, as it was now called. The Nivian matriarch, a towering insectoid with 1,000 twitching eyes, hissed during the session, "They are unpredictable. No logic governs their strategy. How do you deter a species that thrives on adversity?" Others, like the pacifist Orville Syndicate, argued for diplomacy. "They are new to the stars." The Orville envoy cooed, his gelatinous form quivering. "They act out of desperation, not malice. We should extend a hand, not a blade." The Saruk Dominion, licking their wounds, demanded retribution. Their ambassador, a hulking reptilian clad in ceremonial armor, slammed his clawed fist on the council floor. "Humanity must be extinguished before they evolve further. Their madness will consume us all." But even among the Saruk, fear lingered. Some began to wonder if their demand for vengeance was born from anger or terror. ### Humanity rebuilds. Back on Earth, the mood was somber yet resolute. The names of every crew member lost at Velen's Reach were etched into a sprawling memorial in the heart of New Geneva. Families wept, veterans saluted, and children laid flowers at the base of the monument. The phrase, "for the stars," became a rallying cry, whispered in quiet reverence and shouted in defiance. Despite their losses, humanity had gained something priceless: respect. Offers of alliances began trickling in. The Avanar Collective, a race of avian diplomats, extended trade agreements. The industrialist Traxu offered advanced shipbuilding techniques in exchange for access to Earth's resources. Even the enigmatic Zarati Hive, known for their cold indifference, sent cryptic messages of acknowledgement. Admiral Nwosu's gambit had sparked a new era. Earth's politicians seized the moment, uniting humanity under the banner of the Terran Union. Resources were pooled, industries mobilized, and science advanced at a breakneck pace. Within a decade, the Terran fleet was reborn, stronger, faster, and far deadlier than before. #### The Suruk retaliation. The Suruk couldn't let humanity's defiance go unchallenged. 10 years after Velen's reach, they launched a massive invasion fleet, targeting the Sol system directly. The Suruk believed this would be a swift campaign, a final strike to crush the upstarts. They underestimated how much humanity had learned. When the Suruk fleet emerged from hyperspace near Pluto, they found not a defenseless system, but a fortress. Terran battle stations bristling with railguns and missile pods surrounded every major celestial body. Swarms of AI-controlled drones patrolled the outer orbits, their sleek forms glinting in the sunlight. At the heart of the defense stood the HSS Resolute, flagship of the new Terran Navy. It was an awe-inspiring sight, over 3 kilometers of reinforced armor, housing weapons systems that had been reverse-engineered and enhanced from the wreckage at Velen's reach. Admiral Arjun Patel, Nwosu's successor, hailed the Suruk fleet. His image appeared on their command screens, calm but resolute. "This is Sol space," he said. "You will leave now, or we will repeat Velen's reach, with interest." The Suruk commander sneered and gave the order to attack. ###The second charge. The Battle of Sol became a masterclass in human warfare. Unlike at Velen's reach, this time humanity fought with precision. They used the Suruk's aggression against them, luring their ships into carefully laid traps. Mines detonated in unison, shattering Suruk formations. Railgun salvos ripped through dreadnoughts, while human fighters darted through the chaos with deadly efficiency. But the highlight of the battle was the Resolute. In the final moments, surrounded by Suruk ships, Admiral Patel gave the order that stunned everyone, allies and enemies alike. "Activate Audacity Protocol," he said. The Resolute's prow opened, revealing a massive superweapon, a modified warp core, rigged to detonate with the force of a small star. The Resolute charged into the Suruk flagship, its engines burning brighter than any star in the system. This time, the charge wasn't a suicide run. At the last moment, the Resolute's crew evacuated via escape pods, leaving the ship on a collision course. The resulting explosion obliterated the Suruk flagship and half their fleet. The remaining Suruk ships fled, broken and humiliated once more. ###Legacy of the charge. The second charge solidified humanity's place among the stars. They were no longer seen as reckless newcomers, but as strategic geniuses willing to gamble everything for victory. The phrase, "the humans charged," became shorthand for daring, innovation, and unyielding determination. The Suruk Dominion, fractured and demoralized, sued for peace. The Galactic Council officially recognized humanity as a major power, and Earth was granted a permanent seat. On r/HFY7, the story of the second charge went viral, surpassing even the original Velen's reach post. One comment summed it up perfectly. First, they charged with desperation. Then, they charged with preparation. Next time, they'll charge with domination. Humanity smiled at the thought. ###The era of dominance. By 2610, humanity's reputation had transcended fear and respect. It became a cornerstone of galactic balance. The term Terran calculus entered alien lexicons, describing the practice of factoring human unpredictability into strategic planning. It was not just about what humans could do, it was about what they might do, and the horrifying possibilities therein. The Terran Union did not rest on its laurels. Their engineers, scientists, and strategists pushed the limits of technology and philosophy alike. From Dyson swarms to wormhole stabilization, humanity leapt ahead, their advancements funded by an unbroken spirit of unity and purpose. They understood that the galaxy admired strength, but revered those who wielded it with wisdom. The question was no longer whether humanity would survive, it was how far they would rise. ###A new foe emerges. As humanity basked in its hard-won dominance, whispers of a new threat began to circulate, far beyond explored space. At the edge of the galactic halo, an ancient race had begun to stir. The KVYR hegemony, a machine race thought long extinct, reactivated their fleets. Entire systems vanished in the span of weeks, their planets stripped bare by the hegemony's incomprehensible technology. The Galactic Council, now wary of humanity's unique perspective on conflict, turned to the Terran Union. "You've faced annihilation before," the Zarati emissary hissed. "You are the only ones who might understand how to fight it." Humanity accepted the charge, not out of obligation, but because they saw the KVYR for what they truly were, a challenge worthy of their mettle. ####The KVYR War. The KVYR War began in 2612 and marked a turning point for the galaxy. The hegemony's ships were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, massive constructs of shifting metal, capable of adapting to every known weapon. Energy beams were absorbed, missiles detonated harmlessly, and even Terran railguns barely scratched their surfaces. Humanity's first encounters with the KVYR were disastrous. Fleets were decimated, planets lost. On r/HFY7, posts lamented the defeats, but they also carried a consistent thread of hope. "It's always darkest before the charge," one commenter wrote, earning thousands of upvotes. The phrase resonated deeply. Humanity regrouped, studied their enemy, and developed a daring plan. ###The Final Charge. In 2615, at the Battle of Halo's Edge, humanity unveiled their most audacious strategy yet. Instead of targeting the hegemony's seemingly invincible fleets, they aimed for the source, the KVYR core world, an ancient megastructure orbiting a black hole. The HSS Continuum, humanity's first full-drive ship, led the charge. Its experimental technology allowed it to bypass traditional space and navigate directly through the black hole's event horizon. The goal: deliver a weaponized singularity to the heart of the KVYR megastructure. The mission was suicidal. The crew knew they would never return, but they volunteered in droves. Humanity had long since accepted that survival sometimes required sacrifice, and the Continuum's crew embraced their role in the grand tapestry of Terran history. As the Continuum plunged into the black hole, the galaxy watched in stunned silence. Hours passed with no word. Then, just as the KVYR fleets bore down on the remaining Terran forces, the megastructure imploded. A shockwave of energy rippled across the battlefield, disabling every KVYR ship. The hegemony's AI networks collapsed, their ships drifting lifelessly into the void. The Continuum's crew was never heard from again, but their names, like those lost at Velen's Reach, were etched into Terran history. ###A United Galaxy. The destruction of the KVYR hegemony marked the dawn of a new era. For the first time, the galaxy was united, not by fear, but by hope. Humanity's actions had inspired countless species to rise above their petty rivalries and work together. The Galactic Council renamed itself the Stellar Concord. With the Terran Union as a guiding force, Earth became a cultural and technological hub. Its people celebrated not just for their strength, but for their vision. On r/HFY7, the post commemorating the Battle of Halo's Edge became the most upvoted story in the sub's history. One user wrote, "They charged into the unknown and brought back salvation. Humanity doesn't just survive, they thrive, they inspire, and they lead us all to the stars." It wasn't just a story anymore, it was the truth. And humanity? Humanity was just getting started.